Warning. Censorship. Warning. Censorship. Warning. Censorship. Warning.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Rebel Daily live stream. I am Katherine Krozonouski here in studio in Toronto, Canada, and joining me from way over the pond is Lewis Brackpool. How you doing, Lewis?
Hey, it's great to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, well, actually you were booked on this before I was. So thanks for having me
Very
on.
true. There you go. Sorted.
I gotta adjust my Is that okay? Can you guys hear me?
That's much better, thank you.
Okay. I'm too animated for a microphone. I'm always bashing it with my hands because I'm such a cartoon. How are you doing? How is it over there?
Yeah, all good, thank you. I think we're a little bit nervous about what's going to be happening in terms of COVID-related issues, but we'll get onto that a little bit later into the live stream today. But weather's still not really great, but you know, that's classic British weather over here, so yeah.
Well, we also have terrible weather right now, but we have good news outside of the weather. Yesterday we had some really breakthrough news coming out of the Court of Appeals. So let's play the clip because Ezra Levent is going to tell you about it in much more detail than I am able to. Let's play that.
Unbelievable news. I've got great news for you. Literally minutes ago, the Alberta Court of Appeal stayed the sentence given to Pastor Arthur Pawlowski, his brother David Pawlowski, and to restaurateur Chris Scott, setting aside the bizarre and unconstitutional provisions that forced those men to denounce themselves after any public comment relating to the pandemic or the lockdowns. Justice Adam Germain, a disgraced Liberal appointee, made that order a few weeks ago. It was very punitive, it was abusive, it was Soviet style, commanding these three men that if they said anything that he didn't like about the pandemic, they had to immediately follow it up with his own bizarre little judge-written script. We learned in court today that the prosecution didn't even want that, didn't even ask for that. That kooky judge put that in. Well, the grown-ups came back today, and the Alberta Court of Appeal stayed the enforcement of that and ordered an expedited hearing. I'm so optimistic. It's not the final battle, but it's a great beginning to what I hope is a freedom-oriented ending here. Credit to the three men themselves, Arthur Pawlowski, David Pawlowski, and Chris Scott, for standing up to this shocking abuse of prosecutorial resources, the punitive steps taken by the Alberta government. Congratulations to the Court of Appeal for doing the right thing. And most importantly, thank you to you, our Rebel News viewers, who have crowdfunded top legal representation for all three men who were in court today. The lawyer for Chris Scott, Chad Williamson, and his colleague, and the amazing Sarah Miller for the Pawlowski brothers. It would not have happened without those lawyers, and we could not have had those lawyers without you. This is a huge victory for freedom. If you haven't yet chipped in, please consider it. Go to savearthur.com. and you'll actually get a charitable tax receipt from the Democracy Fund that is sponsoring their lawyers. What a great day. You know, this is the first major court win in the age of the pandemic, and it's thanks to you. Go to savearthur.com.
Fantastic.
Huge news there. Lewis, I don't know a lot about the laws in the UK. Or the Britons, as they would say in Monty Python. But do you guys have free speech, like guarantees there? 'Cause we don't.
We're a bit similar to Canada. We are dwindling on the subject of free speech. There's a lot of things. I think they're more interested in cracking down on mean tweets on Twitter rather than solving actual crimes here in the UK. So I'm guessing that's very similar to what's happening over in Canada, or I might be incorrect.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of people, because our pop culture is so entwined with the United States, I've spoken to people who think that we have free speech in Canada, we do not have that guaranteed right. It's not in our Charter of Rights and Freedoms. What we do have is actually something called qualified speech, which is the opposite, which is like compelled speech. So this Artur Pawlowski case brought this to a lot of people's attention, because before that, A, they thought that we had free speech, B, they didn't know that the government could actually, and this was a dangerous precedent that they were trying to set with this case, that the government could tell you what you had to say, like a YouTube warning before you're actually speaking to a public, like in person, not even on any platform. So this is a huge precedent that they were not able to set in this case, because we're going to look to this in the future, especially COVID-related cases, that you cannot tell someone, well, let's find out what happens, but the Court of Appeals has stayed the request for Artur Pawlowski and his brother and Chris Scott to prevent the government from being able to tell them what to say before they say what they actually want to say. So it's incredibly important. It's a huge win. And here at Rebel, we're extremely excited about it, because we did have a big part in making this happen. So big thanks to everybody who was a part of this in any way, writers, editors, graphics. We all had a part in this, and we're extremely proud of it.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I wanted to add as well, Artur as well is an absolute hero for really standing up against all the tyranny that's been happening. So my hat goes off to him as well for all of what he's been doing and really standing his ground. So it's great to see characters like that out there really, really fighting for it. So that's brilliant.
Yes. Speaking of Rebel, because we're always talking about Rebel here. We have I think that's what you wanted me to talk about, producer Andrew. We have our Viewers' Choice Awards. We're going to be giving away this award to someone who's a journalist at Rebel News who the viewers have chosen to be their favorite. So this year, my name is on there, your name is on there, Lewis. We have so many awesome reporters. I've already cast my vote for Alexa Lavoie from Quebec, because in my opinion, if I had to try and tell the news in French, even though I've lived in Canada my whole life and I should technically know how to speak it, it would be a disaster. So for Alexa to come in, she started with us in the summer, and she's already one of our biggest stars, and she told me that she learned French at 26 years old, and she's not much older than that now. So it's very incredible what she's done. Who have you cast your vote for?
My vote was for Matt Brevner, because he's very versatile, great guy, great speaker. Yeah, he casted my vote. He really did stand out for me. He's and I speak to him a few times. He's a really, really great guy. So I thought I'd cast that vote for Matt. Yeah, bless him. He's a great guy. So yeah, hip hop artist as well, which is awesome.
Yeah, that's how we got his.
So
and also Key and Simone started in the hip hop industry as well. So we're very hip here,
awesome.
As you can tell. I'm wearing leather. We're super cool.
Awesome.
Let's move on to our stories, shall we? In Canada,
Sure.
we just had some news yesterday that the Parliament is not going to make the MPs go into the office. They're going to be working remotely, or have the option to work remotely, until the end of June. That's so far from now. What are they?
Unbelievable.
So from
Unbelievable.
yeah, until I think later in the article it says June 2022. So I guess the government of Canada has declared that the pandemic is going to be soaring through the new year, into the spring, into the summer, and the politicians are not being forced to go into the office. What do you think about that, Lewis?
I mean, it seems to me like they have some sort of crystal ball that they can predict when things are going to get really, really bad. It reminds me as well, over here, the government introduced the passports, or tried to anyway, and someone made a remark saying, well, isn't the Houses of Parliament going to be implemented them? And there was talk of that, and they said no, which was quite funny, because it's almost like rules for thee but not for me. That's what screams to my mind when this sort of stuff happens. I mean, I'm sure there's many politicians out there that are working hard for a great cause, wherever they stand, regardless of left and right. I think it's a bit more complicated than that. But unfortunately, the disproportionate amount of them seem to be just slacking off, in my opinion. That this idea of working from home now has become a massive precedent in not only politics but in life in general. So it seems to me like they're taking the mick out of that. I don't know what your thoughts on that is.
Well, I was thinking, if I worked for Burger King, I would have to go into the office, right? I would have to go into the Burger King and do my job and serve food to people, and you don't get to do that over Zoom. So I'm wondering why politicians think that their jobs are so different. Like, they're public servants. It shouldn't be, like you said, the rules for thee and rules for me. I think it's interesting that part of... Sorry, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, it's just practicing what you preach, really, isn't it? And it's a massive element of that. So apologies for cutting you up there. No,
I was just going to say, part of the reason that they're justifying the option for people not to go into the office and to do Parliament from Zoom is because Parliament, the people in Parliament are always flying overseas, or they're interacting with the public a lot. Well, freaking same thing for Burger King employees, right? They're any sort of public-facing consumer, consumer service industry. I used to work in the service industry,
sure.
So I should know. You talk to a lot of people, and you don't get to say, no, sir, please step away from the counter. You're not like in the actual reality. You're gonna breathe someone else's air, whether you work at Burger King or in the Parliament. So it's interesting that they get that option. And of course, I think a lot of people, if given the choice, would prefer to work from their home behind a screen in sweatpants. That does not go for me. I love coming into the office, but I think a lot of people, so we're giving this easy out for the people who are supposed to be the public servants. I think it's despicable and a little bit lazy, but that's okay. They're entitled, right?
Yeah, well, they are entitled quite literally, aren't they? It's just, yeah. Do you know what? It doesn't surprise me at all. Like, it just doesn't surprise me. It's almost like it's written in the scripts of what they want to do. It's just a big FU to the little guys, really, isn't it? And
speaking of the little guy, we have some celebrity content, because celebrities are the ultimate little guy. Just kidding. We have a new segment that we're trying out today. We have one of our amazing employees, Nat, who's joining us remotely from the other room. She's going to come in because she's very young and very hip and cool, and she's going to talk to us a little bit about this. There's a couple of celebrities that have been divas this week, so we want to know who Nat thinks is the biggest diva out there. I think we have her. Is she ready? Oh, there she is. Hello,
Hi.
Nat.
Hello, Nat.
Hey guys, thanks for having me on. I am Rebel's Chief Diva Correspondent. I gave myself that title. Okay, that's not true. So I think we should start by just going with our ranks. So I think so we're going to talk about 3 celebs today. Madonna. I don't know if you all heard, but she had one of her Instagram photos taken down because she was, showing her bosom a little bit. All right, so then we have Seth Rogen, and then we have LeBron. So I think we should work this out together and maybe rank them, maybe talk this out.
Well, let's just give like a Cole's notes on each one. So Madonna, you mentioned it was there it is. Terrifying image, if you ask me, of what looks to be a Frankenstein showing a boob. Probably the boob that belongs to someone much, much younger than her that she had surgically implanted on herself. Terrifying picture. So that was the one. And then we have
Seth
LeBron
Rogen.
James. Lewis, you want to give us a quick rundown on what happened there?
Yeah, I think he kicked two fans off the basketball court, wasn't he? Yeah, he really did out them right in their face. I mean, look at that. It's almost like, that's embarrassing, really, isn't it? I don't even know. I'm not quite 100% sure on the context of this. It just almost happened all of a sudden. But imagine that, a stadium full of people, and you're calling out to attendees. And look at that. Look, just cameras on them. Everyone's all shouting, and old privileged LeBron there, just calling them out. It's a bit mean. I don't think Michael Jordan would have done that.
Well, and does he even have? Well, yeah, and does he even have the authority to kick people out? Like, does he own the stadium? I must have missed that memo. And then we have Seth Rogen, who is everyone's favorite stoner.
And Seth got into it on Twitter yesterday, where I don't actually know who this Casey Nelsat is, but apparently he's some YouTuber, not really important. What's important here is that this guy had his car broken into, and he was tweeting about it because he was justifiably angry, and Seth Rogen jumps in and was like, oh, that's just part of living in a big city, dude. It happens to me all the time. And it's like, I don't think we should be prepared to allow people to break into our cars and just think that that's okay. But that's California for you. So, Nat, what are your thoughts? Who is the biggest diva?
Okay, so I think Madonna is not the biggest diva. I think she's trying way too hard to have this like contrived fury over this photo. I mean, she knows it's gross and no one wants to look at that. So I think she's really just trying to have her 10 seconds of fame because she's kind of irrelevant. So I don't think it's her. I don't think it's Seth Rogen because he's really just completely removed from reality. And I think he's just honestly not that smart, maybe. And then, so I definitely think the winner is LeBron because he's historically known for being a big baby, despite the fact that he's 1,000,000 feet tall and a bajillionaire. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Lewis, what do you think?
Right, my vote's going to go on Madonna because, I mean, come on, she's like the same age as my nan or something, and she's out there posting photos like that on the internet. Look, Madonna, if you really want to post stuff like that, go and do it on OnlyFans or something like that. Like, really, what is the problem? I'm personally for modesty. I know a lot of people really don't like me saying that, but I'm going to be honest. I prefer modesty, and you're still setting an example. It doesn't matter how famous you are. It doesn't matter, when your career was. I'm not sure if her career is. It's probably why she put it up, to try and gain some more relevancy. But really, like, why? And the fact that you moaned about it as well is a bit weird. Like, come on, if you want to put that on sites, you've got OnlyFans. You've also got, Pornhub as well, if you really, really want to go that far. So, yeah, my vote is on Madonna.
That's fair because, social media, kids are present on social media. I don't think parents want their kids being exposed to those. So...
I mean, I will say, Nat, like, social media is a dumpster fire. I can't go on Instagram without seeing butts. And I don't even follow butts, and they just find me. And I'm a woman. It's like, who is making this algorithm? Why am I seeing so many butts? But it's part of the reason I don't go on Instagram very much. But I would say I think Madonna is actually experiencing some, like, severe mental decay. She might actually think that she's still, like, 20. She seems like she doesn't know that she's in her 60s. Someone should tell her.
Now I feel terrible for my vote.
I mean, she's held together by glue and plastic, so it's not surprising that she's maybe suffering.
I mean, what is that?
Well, what is she doing? She's showing off the butt that she had paid for previously, and she wants people to see it. This is the mainstream, like, this is entertainment. What is this?
Yeah, it's just Hollywood, isn't it?
Oh, that was bad.
Hollywood, get it together, jeepers. Now, while you're here, let's look at the Rebel store. We have, because I know that you have a part in this, right? You work the campaigns and you help with the store as well. Is that correct?
Yeah, a little bit.
Am I speaking the truth?
Yeah, I answer some of your emails, so I hope y'all like my response.
Be nice when you're emailing, because it might be not reading those emails. Let's plug the store. So today is Black Friday. There is a 10% discount code. I tried it myself, and I'm pretty sure it automatically applies if you click the little Black Friday yellow button there. Yeah. So if you click that button, I'm pretty sure everything that you put in your checkout cart will already have that promo attached to it. You can get 10% off of all of our awesome designs, and there's also a special collection of 50% off. There you go. Here's, the Ezra poster. Everyone needs to have an Ezra Levant head in their bathroom or their bedroom, living room, wherever you do. Put your art up. It's quite unique. A Let's Go Brandon poster, that's great. See, if I was a teen and I was in university, I would put that on my wall, and it would engage a lot of discussion, I think, in the university. It might not be very popular, but I wasn't anyways.
I was going to say we have worldwide as well. It's shipping for worldwide, so the Brits as well can indulge in this Black Friday deal, I believe.
Oh. Yes, I just couldn't hear anything. I'm good. Okay. Yeah, that's the Rebel store. You guys should do your shopping now because this promo won't be available. And well, actually, it'll be available until Monday. So between now and Monday, do all your shopping because you can't, you won't get the promo if you do it on Tuesday. And then also, as always, we always have our 10% discount codes for the journalists. So if you do, I think Lewis probably has one, Lewis 10, Katherine 10, but you can only use that once. So I wouldn't bother with that right now. Use your Black Friday coupons and get all your stuff for Christmas. Everyone wants a Let's Go Brandon t-shirt for their mom or their aunt, right? My aunt would be horrified if I gave that to her for Christmas, so I might just do it. As of right now, we are only on YouTube. Oh no, sorry, we're not only on YouTube. I got that wrong. We are on all of our platforms, including YouTube, but we're going to say goodbye to YouTube so that we can talk about more COVID-related stuff and we'll have more freedom. So, Nat, thank you so much for joining us. This was really fun. I think we should do this more often. Because I'm in my 30s, so I don't know anything about what the kids are doing, so hopefully you can be I can live vicariously through you, and I think it's just cool to talk about some fun pop culture stuff as well.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me on, guys.
Thanks, Nat.
Saying goodbye to Nat, and we're gonna say goodbye to YouTube as well. Do you have any last words for YouTube, Lewis?
Oh, I better not. It's a bit too spicy. So yeah, I think YouTube would have me off.
Okay.
So I best not risk that.
We are just waiting for the go-ahead to switch over to our other platforms, Rumble, SuperU, and Odyssey. We're already there, but we're going to be exclusively there from now on so that we can be in a safe space of free speech. Oh, welcome. Hello.